This episode of the QA is brought to you by the Rainier Arms Apex Club.
All right, we are live. We'll give it a minute here for a couple people to tune in. But this is going to be the QA Live, October 2019. All right, we'll turn that off. We didn't get very many questions this month, so we are going to go ahead and try to do a live one here, and I'm going to be monitoring. So if you guys come in with your live questions, that would be awesome. So we'll give it a minute, because right now we have 0 subscribers, and I believe I'll be able to download this and publish it to YouTube as well, and we'll kind of go from there. All right. Oh boy, can't be watching myself. Oh, we got a couple. There we go. Hey Dustin, I see you are here. And I don't know if it lets me... I don't know if it'll let me monitor it on my iPad here for comments or what. So I'm trying. But we got 5 people here. So if you guys can hear me okay, can you make a comment, give me a thumbs up, let me know everything's working, please? All right, we got a few. All right, well, excellent. So sound off with any questions, you guys, and hello, and we'll kind of get right to it. I think we only have 1 or 2 submitted questions, so I'm just gonna get those right out of the bat right away, and then we'll go from there. This might be a short video, so perfect. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate the loud and clear confirmation. All right, this first question is from, I believe it's Dino. And Dino has, actually it's like a 3-part question. Make sure you guys can see me okay in my wonderful hotel room. I'm on the road again this month. I'll probably be on the road again next month as well. But Dino writes, there's oodles of information about the effects of heat on barrels, but I feel the actual round count and or shot cadence is not covered though. So he has 3 questions. In other words, we know heat affects barrels, but when at the X round fired in a row, question mark, question mark. 2, can substantial negative effects be avoided if shots are taken at a slower rate? And last, how does a barrel's profile affect both the quantity and cadence? So great question. His question is basically referring to heat in barrels. So what generally happens is heat is kind of the enemy of barrels. A couple of reasons. Number 1, as a barrel gets hotter, you can have what's called stringing or opening up of the groups you might typically notice. So a shooter who's maybe doing some precision work or some bench work or whatever it might be, all of a sudden they're noticing that when they're first starting out, their groups are nice and small, but then as the barrel gets hotter and hotter, the groups open up. So basically what's happening is heat is affecting the barrel, so the barrel is kind of moving around more as you're firing. Additionally, the throat, which is right in the first section of the barrel, the throat can get extremely warm, and that's a very critical portion of a barrel because that's where the bullet first meets the grooves of the barrel. So if that throat gets worn and really brittle, you can have a lot of issues with that as far as deforming the bullet, making the bullet damage or anything like that, so we can have issues with accuracy there. And what I've seen when I've looked at machine gun barrels or barrels that I just know have a ton of rounds through them, or back when bump stocks and cheap 5.45 ammo was prevalent, we did the 5.45 project with a company I worked with before where we just, tons and tons of rounds of 5.45 and that AR 5.45. The throat area started to, instead of being nice, smooth, rifled metal, it looked like almost like an alligator's back. It was just really ugly and chipped. It almost looked like dried mud. So that can have an effect there too. So heat can affect both of those things. So to answer your question, at what round count fired? Well, it really kind of depends, leading to the other one, is on the profile. A larger profile barrel obviously takes a longer time to heat up. However, the downside is then it also takes a longer time to cool. So I don't necessarily have an exact number because obviously it's going to depend on the ammunition, how much powder is loaded in the ammunition. The more powder, the more energy, the more friction, the more speed, the more heat. Makes sense, right? Versus the barrel itself, what size it is, even some factors such as the barrel nut, the handguard, etc., can all act as like a heat sink. Other products on the market like JP's thermal dissipator can kind of act as just that, a thermal dissipator, so that can cool down the barrel more. Some people will argue whether that's necessary or not, but JP is a company that is known for really making good stuff, and their thermal dissipator is a good product. If you are looking to keep the barrel a little bit cooler, maybe it'll have a little bit more rigidity, you can certainly check out the thermal dissipator. The downside is it only mainly fits their profile barrels. You could have a barrel tuned, or turned down to fit their thermal dissipator as well. So Dino, I hope that makes sense. Can substantial negative effects be avoided if shots are taken at a slower rate? Yes, absolutely they can. So even if you go to a carbine class and we heat, we do a few mags and you're kind of going relatively quick or whatever, I try to give a break. Number one, the guns get hot, the hand guards get hot, so if you're holding the gun, that can be uncomfortable. You also want to take a break, and I'm a firm believer of, when you're doing drills, even if you're doing recoil management drills, which is generally you do a rapid fire drill for, you don't necessarily just want to get to the point where it becomes kind of just play at the range. So that hopefully answers your question. For those of you guys just tuning in, this is the QA October 2019 live. So if you have a question, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below and I will get to it. Otherwise, if we don't get any questions here, I'll probably be wrapping it up here pretty soon. As of right now, I think we just have a few people checking in. And I think it'll let me monitor comments here. I'm not exactly sure. Come on, I'm just checking in here. So if you have comments, please make sure you let me know, and I will get those to the show. Otherwise, Dino, we answered your question about barrel and heat, and then again, after this live event is done, I'm going to do my best to also upload this. Hopefully it'll let me download it and go from there. So that's what we're waiting for. All right, let me check in here, make sure. Don't have any other questions? I'm not seeing anything. All right, there's one from Dustin. Is 75 grain gold dot still your go-to round? Generally, yes. As far as a duty, self-defense, maybe even a hunting round, right now it is my go-to just because I like how it's been performing in shorter barrels. What's nice about the 75 grain gold dot is it performs well at slower velocities. Some of the other rounds on the market that were kind of geared towards duty, self-defense, personal protection, law enforcement, whatever, mainly the 62 grain bonded, which is probably, I would argue, one of the most popular self-defense / duty loads on the market. That's the Federal Tactical Bonded or the Federal 62 grain Fusion. It's actually the same 62 grain bonded bullet, but that would have less performance at slower velocities, i.e. out of a short barrel rifle after about 100 yards. The Spear 75 grain gold dot performs really well in that regard. And then there are some rounds from Hornady that are performing really well too. But generally right now I'm running 75 grain gold dot for my kind of self-defense duty rounds. And then for any accuracy that I'll be doing, like out of a 16 or 18 inch barrel, I generally will run some 69 grain Sierra Match Kings or something like that. A nice accurate load if I was testing accuracy or trying to shoot for groups or at a match. So if I was shooting 3-gun, for example, my long range distance round was usually a gold medal match, 69 grain or 77 grain, depending on what my rifle liked best. And then I would have 55 grain Hoser ammunition for pretty much anything like 200 yards in, where accuracy wasn't super critical. And then I would zero with the 69 grain or 77 grain, and then I would just know the offset of the 55 grain Hoser ammo, which generally wasn't too far. So I'm just gonna make one adjustment there, get that out of the way. And yeah, so that's our second question. Let me just see if there's any others. Right now we're down to just a few viewers, so this was kind of a short notice, spur of the moment thing. We didn't get a ton of questions, like I said, this month, so we're trying the live event. And right now, I don't even know how long we've been live for. Looks like 9 minutes, and I've answered a couple questions. So we'll give it a minute, and then we might wrap it up. But again, this is the QA Live 2019, the October episode. If you have a question, make sure you leave it in the comment below, and I'll get to it here. And we'll go from there. Otherwise, it might just be Dustin and Dino's questions, which means I'll probably just end up finding a prize for both of you guys. So we'll see what we can do. Got to give a shout out to Rainier Arms and the Apex Club for sponsoring this episode. And I know I'm on the road, don't have my fancy studio, but if you guys are looking for good deals, early access, exclusivity, plus free ground shipping on all of your orders, check out the Rainier Arms Apex Club. It's basically $99 a year, kind of like your Prime membership, except for you get discounts on everything Rainier sells, plus early access to all the cool stuff, plus free ground shipping. And if you haven't heard, Rainier is moving their shipping warehouse to Kansas, which is pretty huge. They were shipping out of Washington, which was a really cool facility. I got to check that out. But anyways, they moved it all to Kansas, which means faster shipping, particularly for guys like me in the Midwest. We're getting our parts like 2 days, which is awesome. And all throughout the country, it's much quicker because it's in a nice central location. So that's awesome. Rainier Arms Apex Club, $99 a year, free ground shipping, discounts, early access. Check out the Rainier Arms Apex Club and thank them for sponsoring. Dustin, if that is still you watching, we're down to one. And I think it's just you. Maybe you left, I'm not sure. But we'll see how this goes. Maybe Dustin, I don't know if it will tell me if you leave or not. Maybe you have left and you just left your phone on. But anyways, this is the QA, October 2019, live, taking your questions. If you guys have questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Dustin writes, how about $5 off a 3-day carbine class with learning firearms? Done. Sounds good. We got to schedule a 3-day carbine class, so we got to find a location for a 3-day carbine class. But I'd give you $5 off a day, so that's a total of $15. But anyways, if you guys are watching this after the fact and you want to get your question on the show, the best way to do so would be to email us theqa@gunsandtactics.com. Again, that email is theqa@gunsandtactics.com. We would love to have your questions on the show. Let me just check. All right, it won't let me do that, which is fine. Your viewers, all right. Dustin, you are it. I've had a few people kind of check in and out. So with that, welcome new viewer. It's the QA Live, so if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment. Otherwise, we're probably going to wrap up this video here pretty quick after about 12-minute effort here. Oh, Andy, I think, checked in. Welcome, Andy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so with that, I'll probably get ready to wrap it up here pretty soon. But again, send your questions to the email, theqa@gunsandtactics.com, to see them on the show. Also, check out the channel. Make sure you check out the webpage. We have articles, we have reviews, we have videos by this ugly mug right here, and we have other stuff going on too. And I'm starting to expand a little bit. One of the requests I got was to kind of expand beyond ARs and Glocks. So I've done a little bit on precision rifle. I have some more precision rifle coming up. I have a review of the Voodoo V22 precision rimfire. I have a review of the Trijicon SRO, the Trijicon 4.5 to 30 Accu Power Scope coming up. I'm trying to get another handgun in that just was announced, which seems like a really cool platform. That's the Dan Wesson DWX. I'm actually going to make an announcement video about that. Just kind of going over what they announced. I'd love to get an actual firearm on hand and be able to do a first look and a review. I have some Maxim stuff reviews coming up, which is pretty cool. We did a first look on their PDX, which is a really, really cool little personal defense type pistol or SBR. So I'm looking forward to some of the reviews coming up. And then throughout the winter, we have some other ideas. I know people have talked about training inside, so we're going to do one on dry fire, airsoft, maybe some laser type practice. And then we're going to go over some cleaning and maintenance and kind of general shop videos, because winter, it's a time that it's a little tougher to get out to the range. So that is that. Being that we don't have any more questions and we're about 14 minutes in, unless I'm missing a question, which I don't see any on here, I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap up. So thank you again to Rainier Arms and the Apex Club for sponsoring this episode. Again, $99 a year, free ground shipping, discounts, exclusive access. That's Rainier Arms Apex Club. And we thank you guys very much for watching. Any last minute questions before we wrap up the live QA? Nick, hey Nick, thanks for checking in. We're doing a live QA, so if you have any questions, go ahead and add them in the comments real quick. Otherwise, we're going to probably wrap this video up. But I thank the viewers that have checked in, and I thank those of you that kind of tune in and check this out on YouTube after the fact as well. So I'll add some titles and a description, but again, want your question on the show, go ahead and email the QA at gunsandtactics.com. Otherwise, I'm going to give it like maybe 30 seconds, and we're probably going to sign out. Unless you guys are wanting to hear more about anything in particular. I don't know. But Maxim sent this cool sticker. It's their PDX. I thought that was pretty cool. So thank you, Maxim. I might have some cool products to review with them here pretty soon, which I'm excited about. Did the Dave Spalding pics ever get posted from last summer? You know what? I will check. Nick, can you do me a favor? And if they haven't, shoot me a email or a message, and I'll get you a link to make sure that you can view those. But I don't recall. I'd have to look, and I'm in the hotel. I'm traveling this week for training, but if I didn't from what we took, I can certainly make sure we get that to you. So no problem there. I know we kind of have been on a sabbatical from the Learning Firearms side, which those of you guys that don't know, that's my training company based out of Minnesota. And we'd host classes, we'd teach classes. We had kind of a break for 2019. We taught a lot in 2018, and we decided to kind of slow down and kind of do our own thing and train on our own, do some classes that we wanted to go to some events that we wanted to go to. So that's why I was able to go to some precision rifle. No, I'm not at that. I'm actually at a leadership class. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's kind of a long class, but I'm enjoying it. There's some good theories and good concepts and some really good people in there. And man, I gotta say, the lighting in this hotel room just is horrible. I feel like I look like a pumpkin. We do have a couple of DREs on our department. That's DRE for those not familiar. It's a drug recognition expert. And those are people that are their specialty is looking for impairment with drug impairment, things like that. I'm not one of those guys. Those guys are great at what they do, but not for me. Definitely not for me. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up. No more questions coming through. Thank you, Dustin, Nick, Dino, who sent a question via email, Dustin, who sent some questions earlier, and Nick for interacting and watching. I do appreciate it. Last call for questions. I've said that like 3 or 4 times now. If you have a question for the live QA, go ahead and post it in the comment section like ASAP. Even if you just put like something in there now so I know you're still typing, then I'll hold on. But otherwise, I'll probably give it just a few seconds. I don't see any more. I think that might be it. Even though we're gaining viewers, even though we're still in the single digits, it's not like we have a massive amount of viewers for this live event. Well, I guess that's a question for you guys. What do you think of the live QA? Should we do the QAs in the future live and have an interaction and then record them and also upload them to YouTube? Or do you just prefer that I do them on YouTube and upload them to Facebook and YouTube? You know, what are your thoughts? So do you guys like the QA live? Yay, nay? I need to hear from you. Anything? You know, I can see why people can kind of be uncomfortable with the live thing. There's kind of this lull in silence. You kind of feel like the radio DJ in the middle of the night wondering, is there anyone actually listening? You can't have dead air. Tina Tim's watching. Oh, I said her last name. Oops, sorry. How are you? Hope things are well. We're doing a live QA. Not very many Qs, so only a few As. But good to see that you're tuning in. Hope you're doing well. How are things? I'm obviously not there. I'm on the road. Yeah, you're right. So this was kind of a short notice thing. It was basically an idea that I had to do live because we didn't get a whole lot of questions, so I figured live. But Dustin just commented he likes the live, but we need to announce it well in advance, and I totally agree. So you know what? Maybe we'll try again for November, and I will do a better job in November kind of promoting it. So maybe we'll have some posts leading up to that, maybe a teaser video, and then we'll kind of do a live event, and we'll probably do it like Monday, what is the last Monday of November? It would probably be like the 25th of November, and we could promote it as well. So yeah, that's a great idea, Dustin. Excellent feedback. Excellent feedback. Anybody else? I kind of like the live too. If we get like a bunch of people, you know, that would be kind of cool. We could have like some live games or something. Maybe we could have like, I'm going to see if I can get some additional prizes And then maybe we could even do like, okay, random door prize, first person to post, you know, the random number generator or closest to it or whatever it might be. That would be kind of cool, as well as obviously the big prize. So I like that. All right, that is that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up after we are at just about 20 minutes. Thank you guys for those of you who did submit a question. Again, if you want to see your question, get on the show. The email is theqa@gunsandtactics.com, or you can leave a comment, and I'll be sure to add them to next month's episode. We have briefing room episodes, which is kind of like my column, if you will. I get to do videos on a variety of things. I do have some first look videos coming. We do have some reviews coming, so it's going to be a good fall. And we'll go from there. Nick, I will make sure I get you an email, and we'll figure out how I can get those photos to you. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, that was Nick saying have fun. So, all right, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. Check us out online, gunsandtactics.com. If you like the content, make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe. We really do want to see the channel grow. We really do want to see our subscribers grow. As we grow and become a bigger channel, there's just more opportunities. We have better access to stuff. Believe it or not, a lot of companies still look at those hard numbers, so we do want to continue to grow so we can continue to get cool stuff and make cool videos for you. Hey, James, just about to sign off at our live QA, but I do appreciate you checking in. So with that, I wish you guys a wonderful week. Have a safe and happy Halloween. I know it is a busy, hectic time, but Halloween is truly one of my favorite holidays. So please, if you're heading out with your kids, keep an eye on them, grab a flashlight, dress warm, make sure you keep those kids safe, and we look forward to seeing you in future videos. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day.